Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back today with Q&A Sunday, episode maybe 14. I'm not too sure, I may be wrong. But we've got some World Cup action for you guys to watch in the background. United States against Mexico, which is always an enthralling matchup of the demo. And we got it on legendary difficulty. You know, it's 4-minute halves. I've put it on slow, which really doesn't make too much of a difference. We're playing on default sliders because I'm not going to play around with those. But anyway, now maybe a little bit red. I've been out in the sun all day today in Florida. It was like 86 degrees. I was working. It was hot. So excuse me if I look like a strawberry. But anyway, before we get into the action and before we answer those questions, I wanted to talk to you guys quickly about a World Cup edition predict and play that I want to do, obviously, for the World Cup. Now, if you guys know, I've been doing one over at the website. Flare Dashing, I think, is leading the way right now, but it is tight at the top. And the World Cup edition, I wanted to make, you know, some prizes. But for that to happen, I wanted to, you know, make a little entrance fee of only $5. It's not a lot, you know, it's one less Big Mac a week or a cup of coffee, whatever you like. And depending on how many people we have joining, there's going to be, obviously, amounts you can win. So if we have 30 people joining, there's $150 in there. I'm not going to be doing it, so I can't win anything. And you know, the winner's going to win maybe, I don't know, $100. Second place wins 50 or something. You know, just a little bit of fun. If we even have more, maybe we'll do first, second, and third. So it really depends how many people would like to do this and want to join. Please let me know right now. Pause the video, type a comment, let me know. Would you be up for paying, you know, just $5? You know, it's only a few pounds. I'm not going to, you know, it's not £5, it's $5 to join. And depending on how many people we have, we would get that rolling. Anyway, let's get into the questions for today. So first up from Charlie Sorrell says, do you think Liverpool can win the title? P.S. Great videos. Well, thank you very much. You know what? I do. I do think they can win the title now. I've been guilty of saying before that I didn't think they had what it takes to win the league. But with you know, the league winding down now, them playing the way they are, you know, they've beaten United, Arsenal, they've played some phenomenal football. I think they have a chance. I mean, Luis Suarez is ridiculous at the moment. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if he stays at Liverpool at the end of the season. I think they're going to have a hard time because I think someone like Real Madrid is going to come in and snap him up for a ridiculous amount of money. But he is lethal. You know, him and Sturridge have been scoring a lot of goals. You know, the defence is still a little bit shaky, but it seems like if they concede 3, they'll just go and score 4. It doesn't really matter for them. But I think the big matchup for them is in a couple of weeks' time, as a penalty's given here. Shocking. And actually, before I carry on, this is where the new goalie animations. Actually, it's kind of good that I gave a penalty so you guys can see. You can see Tim Howard here doing some bit of movement in goal, which is kind of cool. They added that. Hernandez scored. But yeah, I think they can win it. I think the big matchup is going to be City against Liverpool. The winners of that could claim the title and go on. You never know. You know, I thought a lot of people said Arsenal might win it this season, but they've dropped a lot of points. Chelsea have dropped some here and there. I know Jose Mourinho has come out and said now that they won't win the title. Bollocks. He's just playing his typical mind games that he loves to do. Man United are still in 7th position. I can't see them 6th at the most. Everton are flying high. But yes, Liverpool, I think they have a chance. All right, next up from I'm Kenny J35. Says, do you plan on getting FIFA World Cup 2014 and how do you feel about it not being released on the PS4? By the way, thanks for the PES 2014 option file tutorials. Couldn't have done it without your help. No problem. That's what I'm here for. And yes, I am getting it mainly because I'm getting it cheap. I'm not paying full price for it. You must be joking. Because obviously I have FIFA on PS4. There's no need for me anyway. But I'm going to get it cheap and it's a chance for you guys to watch it and enjoy, hopefully, the series that I do. I'm probably going to do it with, you know, someone like Belgium, who's not expected to win the World Cup, but they've got a lot of quality in their team. Hazard, Fellaini, who's, I mean, he used to be good. You know, Benteke and all that. So that could be fun. And, you know, also, if you guys aren't going to buy the game, just head over to my channel and watch it. You know, it's the same kind of thing. Obviously, you're not playing, but, you know, we'll get to see the cutscenes and what it looks like in the play when we get into the knockout stages, the final, the atmosphere and all that. I'm hoping and expecting it to be gold. Great finish there. To be phenomenal, the final. You know, all the atmosphere's electric. And I do like the cutscenes, as we can see in a second here. You know, you'll see Klinsmann celebrating with the fans. It's a nice touch. Maybe they'll add that into the next iteration of FIFA. FIFA 15 will be great as well, because the presentation on FIFA is still pretty shocking. As you guys would have known, I won the league with Atletico Madrid in FIFA 14, and the celebrations for it were pathetic. I mean, rubbish. They have the licenses for La Liga, and they don't want to put out a decent presentation. I don't understand EA sometimes. Very sloppy. Whereas Konami, their presentation's great. So one has good gameplay, one has good presentation. It is what it is. And not being released on PS4, yeah, disappointing, to be honest with you. And laziness, really. Yeah, they've said, sure, that the PS3 version, more people are going to play. The 360, there's more people, obviously, because it's been out 7-8 years. But no, they could have just moved the engine, used the same engine on FIFA 14, reskinned it, you know, with a new UI, and then, you know, added all the teams, the faces, but they didn't want to do it. And it's disappointing, but we got to live with it. Didn't even do it on PC as well, which is also lazy. Next up from Andrea Silva says, what are your thoughts on the English and North American national teams? How do you think they're going to do in the World Cup? Okay, well, let's start with the US of A. Now, they've got a tough group. Germany, Portugal, and Ghana. I could say they're probably going to get 3 or 4 points in that group, which isn't going to be enough for them to qualify. They're probably going to beat Ghana, and you would expect that, but you never know as well. Germany's going to be too much for them. You know, as much as the United States, they're going to be very much, you know, living over here and seeing how Americans train. It's all cardio most of the time. A lot of running, not so much working on ball stuff, just running. So they're going to be fit, there's no question, but can they ping it around? We will have to see. The Germans are going to be an absolute nightmare to play against. Portugal, with Ronaldo, if he's on song and playing, you know, the way he's been playing, you know, he could be a one-man band, basically. So I don't think the United States are going to qualify, but I wish them all the best of luck. And as far as England, they've also got a tough group. Uruguay, Italy, and Costa Rica. Once again, they could get anywhere from, say, 3 points to possibly clinching 6 or 7, or even 9 if they're playing that well. But, you know, I'm half Italian. My name is Riccardo. I am my last name. I'm not going to tell you my last name for private purposes, but it's Italian. I'm a full-blooded Italian name and everything. Obviously, I'm half Italian, half English, but I've always gone for Italy. As much as my friends say, oh, you just go for them for this because they've won the World Cup like 4 times. No. I've always supported them. I've followed my dad's footsteps, and I will be going for them when they play England. I would like to see England qualify with them, but Italy will always be my #1 priority. But Uruguay are going to be a tough team as well. I mean, Suarez, Cavani up top. That's some lethal combination stuff. So any one of those 3 I fancy, England, Uruguay, or Italy, to push through to the knockout stages. Alright, next up from Derek James 9 says, what type of season would you like with Bayern Munich? Well, I've already said this before. I like to win everything. You know, I picked up Ibrahimovic and Ronaldo, 2 phenomenal players on PES. So I want to win the Champions League, the German Cup, and the Bundesliga, and anything else that comes across. So that's what I'm looking to do, and I think I have a very, very good chance of doing so. Next up from Marin Tomasovic says, hey TTB, I want to ask you if there will be next-gen FIFA 15 for PC, and what do you recommend to buy, a PS4 or a PS4 or a PC? The first question, will there be a next-gen FIFA 15 for PC? I would hope so. I really would. I mean, they've obviously last year they weren't going to put it out, and I think it took them a while actually before the PC even got what the PS3 had at the time. It was still running on like the PS2 engine, so you would think so. They need to, because, you know, there's a lot of PC gamers out there, and they're not going to be happy playing for a second consecutive year the same crappy PS3 360 gameplay. So EA need to pull their finger out and make sure that's sorted. And what do I recommend? A PS4 or a PC? Well, that's really what are you expecting? I mean, personally, you know, I have a PC already, so I don't need one. But I'm enjoying the PS4. I mean, it's lacking games right now. You know, it really is. What do we have out? Assassin's Creed, FIFA, NBA that are worth getting. Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, which is just a rehash of every other year. You know, Watch Dogs is coming out. That looks pretty solid, but that's also coming out on PC. So if you want a PC, you're going to probably have to spend more, because if you want a powerful PC, it's going to cost a lot more, of course. Whereas if you've got limited funds, I'd say pick up a PS4. 400 bucks, it is a good bargain. It is a very powerful console, and there will be a lot of quality games, I think, coming out. Especially PES 2015 is going to be coming out. You know, FIFA 15, you know, is going to be on next gen. So, hey, the choice is yours. Next up from VidSoik says, can you quickly explain how you make videos and what recorder do you use? Okay, well, my process of videoing. Now, I either do post-comms or I do live comms. Pro Evo is generally live comms, and FIFA is generally post-comms. Although you guys might not be able to tell, because I try and keep the professional commentary either way. But basically I record with the PVR, and then once I've done that, I head into... but basically when I'm playing, I write down all the interesting parts. So if we had a goal at 27 minutes, I put 27 goal. If there was a shot at 35, I put that in there. So it's quicker for me to edit videos. Once I've done that, head into Power Director, which is what I use to edit. And what I use to record, I use a PVR, a Hop Hog PVR Gaming Edition 2 or something around there. So I edit in Power Director, render it. Once I've rendered it, the file's normally pretty big, around 700-800 meg. I go into Handbrake, compress it down to around 200-400 meg, and then upload. So, you know, it takes me an hour and a half to do all that. It doesn't take too long. It really depends, you know, what kind of videos I'm doing and how much editing there needs to be done. So that's my process. It's got a little bit quicker. It used to be really long. I used to be terrible at it, but doing this now for a while, you know, you do improve. Alright, we're running out of time here. Well, you got a little bit of time left. Next one from Zelina Yabar says, what is your memorable childhood memories? This was a hard one. I was trying to think of some, and I don't really have any, to be honest. I don't think anything really exciting happened to me when I was a child. I mean, I used to go on holiday to Florida a lot, which was fun. You know, my brother, I remember when he was a wee lad, you know, and he was like 2 years old. He was good fun. He was a little chubby little kid running around and stuff, which was always fun. I remember good Christmases where I got a lot of good presents. I remember one Christmas I was only like 10 or 11. I got a computer, I got a bike, a whole bunch of other crap. Look at that finish. Clint Dempsey, 90th minute. That's how it's done. So yeah, I don't really have any memorable childhood moments. Just kind of sad, really, or I can't remember them. I can't remember much of my youth below age 10. So, unfortunately, I'm very boring. But there you go. Next up from Hollow Gaming. Do you think the Tom Cleverley abuse has been taken too far, such as the petitions to ban him from Brazil? Yes. I remember my dad told me about that, and I thought, well, that's not right. As much as he is not really a United player, and he's not playing well, it is a little bit messed up to try and get him banned from playing for England. It's no one's business to try and do that. You know, he's a professional footballer. You know, that's what he does, and the coach will decide if he's good enough to play for England. You know, you can't ban someone just because you don't like the way he plays or whatever. So yeah, I think it was a little bit harsh and a little bit messed up in the long run. Alright, well there we have it, guys. That is all the questions I've had time for today. If I didn't get to yours, please resubmit it for next week. I need some more questions, so submit those over at thetruebrits.com. Go on to PES 2014 tab, Q&A Sunday, and you can submit them there, and I get them. Let me know if you haven't. Are you interested in paying $5 to enter into the World Cup Edition Predict and Play for a chance to win some big bucks? You know, it's only $5. Hey, you could end up winning 80. It's not too bad either. I won't be entering, so I can't win. Don't worry about that. And if you haven't signed up for Predict and Play, it's a little bit late now because it's winding down for the end of the season. But do check it out over at my website as well. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. But until next time, take care.